Basically, the way Arabic is now is that it's Arabic speakers, when people grow up speaking Arabic, they grow up in a situation which is called, technically it's called diglossia, if you're interested. It's called a situation of diglossia, which means that there are basically two different languages. You basically grow up having to know two different languages. One language to write and read and listen to the news in, and then another language to communicate daily and to talk with people in general, and that's kind of the mother tongue. Basically, is one language, and then in order to learn how to read and write, you have to go to school and learn a second language. That's pretty much the situation of Arabic today. In that there are similarities between written and spoken Arabic. A lot of it is very similar, and a lot of it is the same, but they're pretty much different languages. The spoken Arabic is for the most part based off of the written Arabic, but if you learn one, you would usually have trouble understanding the other if you didn't have any experience in the other. Now the way that Arabic is written and read, that Arabic is typically called, or at least from the Western academic perspective, called Modern Standard Arabic, or MSA for short, Modern Standard Arabic. So that's the Arabic that we're going to be learning. If you learnt Modern Standard Arabic and then you went to, say, Cairo, for example, and you spoke Modern Standard Arabic to people in the street, they'd understand you. Most people are just generally exposed to Modern Standard Arabic, and like I said, it's very similar to the Arabic that they speak there as well, but they'd think you're quite strange. I mean, they'd tell immediately that you're a foreigner if you didn't already look foreign already. And it would be like, imagine someone coming up to you and speaking like how Shakespeare wrote his poetry. How art thou? Alas! You know, that was the kind of English that was there in a few centuries ago, 1500s, that kind of time. The Modern Standard Arabic is very much, the Modern Standard Arabic is pretty much the same as the Arabic of the Quran, with a few differences of grammar. They're pretty much the same language. A few differences in grammar, a lot of difference in vocabulary, but it's pretty much the same language. And so the Quran was revealed in the 7th century, and so that's more than double the distance between the English we speak now and Shakespeare's English is what Quranic Arabic is to the Arabic that's spoken today. And so it's a lot of change has happened in the language, and so it's very it would be odd for you to be speaking Modern Standard Arabic to regular people in the Arab world. And then just from country to country or place to place, the different dialects of spoken Arabic are very different. Arabic is considered one language, and then kind of Modern Standard Arabic and the different colloquial or spoken Arabic, such as Egyptian Arabic and Moroccan Arabic and Levantine or maybe Lebanese, Syrian Arabic. They're all called Arabic, but we could view them as completely different languages as well, such that some of them are so different that they're as different as French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian are different from each other. All of those languages come from Latin originally, but they they're completely different languages. If you didn't have much exposure to another one of them, you might not really be able to understand what's going on. But what we're learning is modern standard Arabic, inshallah, and this is known in Arabic also as al-Fusha. Al-Fusha. I'll write that on the board actually too. Al-Fusha. Everyone say after me. Al-Fusha. Al-Fusha. So al-Fusha literally means the most eloquent. The most eloquent. And so it's considered the most eloquent speech. It's a lot more. I mean, to me, it sounds a lot better. It has more of a structure, more of a grammar. You can make more sense of it than you can with more than you can with colloquial, with spoken Arabics. So this is what we'll be learning, inshallah. The writing system in Arabic, if no one is familiar with it, in English we write from left to right. But Arabic goes, so for example, in the word al-Fusha, from, I apologize, the pen isn't that good from this angle. But the main idea, Arabic goes from right to left. And so when we think about this is the beginning of thinking about Arabic from a broader perspective. The reality of this language is that it is the language in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, exalted be He, chose to reveal His final, it's the language through which He chose to reveal His final revelation. And the only revelation which is promised to last unchanged until close to the last day. And so there's a difference of opinion among the scholars as to whether Arabic is divinely inspired, as in it's a divine language that Allah ultimately taught to Adam, and then it came down and was preserved in a certain way up to the time of Muhammad, peace and praise be upon them both. There are some scholars who say that's the case. There are some scholars who say no, it's a human language, but ultimately it has so much significance that we can talk about many layers of its significance, in that it was the language that Allah has chose to reveal His final message in. Regardless, it's the language of the Quran. It's the language that Allah and His Messenger, peace and praise be upon him, used. And so there is a lot of significance in this language, a lot more than we could find in other languages. So, for example, when we think about writing from right to left, we can think about the significance of that as well. That's not just arbitrary. It's not that's completely without reason. When we think that on the last day we get our book of deeds, inshallah, with all of us being good people with good intentions, we receive them with our right hand, whereas those who have not done so well in life get them with their left hand, or behind their back with their left hand. And so we're always encouraged to do things with our right hand in our tradition, to eat with our right hand, to drink with our right hand, to shake hands with our right hand. And so there's significance that, and significance in our tradition, starting on the right is something recommended to do, something noble. And so therefore, even the writing system starts from the right. Another important thing to note about the structure of Arabic. there are two aspects of the Arabic language which are very important, both of which give it meaning. Basically, every word, every complete word in Arabic can be broken down into two things. Every word in Arabic can be broken down into a form and broken down to its root. A form is kind of the ultimate grammatical structure of that word, and then the root is the particular letters in that word that have meaning. And both of these provide that word with meaning. So I'll give a few examples. If we look at the intention of Imam al-Haddad that we have, we see, let's see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines of the English transliteration of it. So if we look at the fifth line, it says nawaitu. Is everyone there? If we see the fifth line, nawaitu. So nawaitu ta'alluma. So the first word nawaitu means I intend, or I have intended. At-ta'alluma is learning. So the form for this is the word learning is ta'allum. This isn't. It isn't so important to know this word right now, and so it's not part of the vocab list. But I just give this an example. Ta'allum. Okay, ta'allum. Now the next word after that, it says nawaitu ta'alluma wa ta'lima. The wa and some of the other symbols, they're not really words in itself. Wa means and. So when it says nawaitu ta'alluma wa ta'lima, it's learning and teaching. So the basic word that's in there, removed of the grammatical markers around it, is ta'lim. Ta'lim. So in these two words are words that have the same root. The same root, but not the same form. Same root, but different forms. The root of them is a. This is a letter in Arabic. Like I said, we'll be getting to it. It's the letter ayn. A, lam, and mim. Even though there are other words, other letters that are common between them, these are basically the important ones. The a, the lam, the ayn, the lam, and the mim. Who can tell me anything on this pattern? Maybe another word you might have heard that is like this, that is kind of based on the same root.
Knowledge.
How do we say knowledge in Arabic? Exactly. Knowledge in Arabic is ilm. Is this big enough, Musa, do you think? Yeah. Okay. Right. Ilm. Same root. Word for knowledge in Arabic has the same root as the word for teaching and the word for learning. Any other words people can think of, maybe? Alim. Good. One of the names of Allah. The knowledgeable one. Al-Alim. Al-Alim. Right. Allah. The knowledgeable. The knower. Also we have alim. Alim. Right, alim is literally one who knows, or really also a scholar, someone who, someone knowledgeable. Ulama is the plural of that word. Ulama is literally knowers, though typically it means scholars, kind of in a technical way. All of these, same root, different form. The whole root, what does the root have to do with? What does this particular root, what does it have to do with? It all has to do with knowledge, right? It all has to do with knowledge, and then these words are derived from this root. They all have to do with knowledge. So the most knowledgeable, someone who's knowledgeable, knowledge itself. Teaching, which is ultimately giving knowledge to others, making others more knowledgeable, and then ta'allum, learning, making oneself knowledgeable, right? All of these things. Now, if we now refer back to again the intentions, here we have nawaitu ta'allum wa ta'alima wa tadhakkura wa tadhkira. So now we have so, tadhakkura, both of these, once again, same root, different form. Here we go. The root is dhal, kaf, ra, dhkara. Do we know any other words that kind of look like that? Dhikr, right. Dhikr. And the reason I underline the DH in here, and as I underline these, to show you that it's notdah-ikr, right? This is one letter in Arabic, the one that's being underlined. It's one sound, dhikr. Right, so what does dhikr literally mean? Remembrance, right? Remembrance, dhikr. So we can see tadhkir, when we see nawaitu ta'allum wa ta'alim wa tadhkura wa tadhakkura wa tadhkira, if we skip down to the translation, I intend to study and teach, to remember and remind. So tadhakkur, reminding oneself, tadhkir, reminding others, right? Remembering and reminding others. So all of these words have to do with remembrance and remembering. They all have the same root but different form. These two across here, same form but different root. So we see here we have tadhakkur, sounds like ta'allum, right? The only thing that's different between those two is the root, versus dhkara. Tadhakkur and ta'allum, tadhkir and ta'alim. They sound similar, right? So the form of them is giving the meaning too. This general form of okay, it's a little hard to say without having anything in it. The general form here of, let's see, See how this is kind of the general form? Tadhakkur, ta'allum, and then the second one too. So that's and then the second one. Everyone see how that works out, kind of? Sorry, I'm trying to stay in one place while writing this. It's not the best handwriting. So this is the same form between them, but different root. So this form has to do with you take the root and you're making others doing that or helping others with that. When we get down to the, when we know the root, we take that root meaning. So with alama, root meaning of knowledge, so we're making others knowledgeable, giving others knowledge. Root meaning of dhakara, remembrance, we're giving others a remembrance, helping others helping others remember, reminding. So reminding versus teaching. The one above them, same form of doing something for oneself. Doing something that root meaning for oneself. So dhikr, helping oneself to remember, to remembering or reminding oneself. Ta'allum, giving oneself knowledge, in a sense learning. Right? And there are of course many other examples. The possibilities are endless ultimately. That if we have a root that we know, and typically Arabic is a triliteral system, so typically you have 3 root letters, though sometimes you'll find 2 or 4, or potentially with maybe some foreign words, you'd find like a 5 root word, but that's very rare. Typically it's almost always 3 root letters, sometimes 2, sometimes 4. If you have those 3 root letters, then you can put it into these forms and basically play around with it and make other words from the forms. So for example, we have let's see, one good example I can think of. If we take a form, say for example, I'm just blanking on something that works out completely. I can't think of anything concrete right now, but let's say kind of hypothetically almost. Take, for example, imam. Imam. The root of it is hamza, n. So if we were to say, although I haven't really come across this word, if we were to say ta'meem, it would mean to put someone in front, because the means literally has to do with being in front. So this would be to put someone in front. If we said ta'meem or ta'ammum, maybe to make oneself in front, right? And so basically, if you get if you take these words down to their root, you can play around with them, and this is how Arabic is formed basically. Formed through meaning coming from form and root. One last example, say for example al-fusha. I haven't really heard this in these forms, but if we put it, the root is so if we put it in this form, tafsih, to make something or make someone more eloquent. Tafsih. So say you're sending someone to Arabic classes, and someone says, "Why are you sending your child to Arabic classes?" Well, I'm doing it for that tafsih, so that they can be more eloquent, right? I'm making them more eloquent. That's just an example that you can put words into these forms, and that's how we gain the meaning in Arabic.